Okay, getting the first pick.
Get three, Pyro, get three with the
Void Kid putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Let's drop the beat.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the BeatDrop. We have got some amazing names here in the chat with us today. The team that will be here is the Jersey Boys, coming from the Harmony tier. Jersey Boys have been sitting in this tournament. Stage 1 finished out 2 and 3, a win-loss with a -2 map differential, but completely sweeping stage 2 with a 3-0 +6 map differential, and currently are seated in 3rd seed for the playoffs. I'm Captain Jack, and I'll be hosting tonight, joined by my co-interviewer, Booth. New name on the podcast, at least this season, but we've seen you around. How's it going, Booth?
Pretty good. This is actually my first broadcasted event for Tranquility. No, I'm just kidding. Pretty good. No, I'm happy to be here. I've got to do a beat drop last season for the Hall of Fame inductees, if anyone here even remembers that. But yeah, I'm excited. I've been wanting to jump in and do one of these, and this will seem like a real fun one.
Well, we are glad to have you here. So, again, we have the Jersey Boys here. Say hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey. How's everyone doing?
All right.
Pretty good.
And we're going to go ahead and get started. We've been told that Winter Haven is participating in a wedding as an observer. So appreciate the dedication there, Winter. But Winter will join us intermittently throughout this interview. So
is this a beat drop first to have a wedding participant actively?
Yes.
In the podcast.
Yes,
I would say
that this is just one of the many firsts that we've had this season. So, or like in the history of BeatDrop, probably, but at least this season for myself, I know. So, Inoculus, we'll go ahead and start with you. Give us your name, your position on the team, and your favorite character skin.
Oh wow, that last question is gonna be hard. Hello, my name is Get Innocuous. I guess I could be described as off support. It's a little fluid on our team about which supports we play, but I play support. And then my favorite character skin, it would have to be a Lucio skin. I'm probably going to have to go with one of the hockey skins. I can't remember what they're called, but I'm a big fan of the hockey skins.
All right. Next we have Stray. Same questions.
I play hit scan DPS mostly, and do you want like our gamer name or do you want a real name?
I mean,
no doxing.
That's the name on your the name on your roster is fine.
I'm Stray. No doxing me. Sorry.
What's your social security number?
Yep.
Let me get my credit card out.
Yep. Give it.
Three numbers on the back.
Yep.
Numbers on the back.
Make sure to give us the date on the front too, please.
And I think my favorite character skin has to be Scion Hanzo.
Ooh, fancy.
Just a really good classic skin.
Mm-hmm. That is a fancy skin. All right, Grodzilla.
I'm actually looking through skins right now. I play main tank for the Jersey Boys. and I think like off the top of my head, I like Yeti Winston a lot.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a classic.
We're getting
XQC over.
Nice warm skin.
all right, Malvada.
Hi, I play support for the team. And I think my favorite skin is Sombra's Demon Hunter skin.
Yes,
I love that one.
Yes, it is. It is the
Very.
greatest. All right, Errant.
Hey, yeah, I play off tank for Jersey Boys, and my skin would probably have to be Racer for Zarya.
Okay,
Nice.
all right, and Bento.
Hey, I play flexible DPS. I'm the Jersey Boys flanker one trick. I would have to say that my favorite skin would be the Shanghai Dragons Tracer, which the Jersey Boys are currently undefeated while I'm wearing it, actually.
Oh,
Wow.
They're really
There's a little history there.
I
A little
mean-
history for you.
That is
Right
epic.
there.
I mean, and aren't they headed into the grand finals? I haven't been paying a whole bunch of attention.
Let's not talk about that.
That ship
So
has
that is a
sailed.
no.
That
That
ship
is
has
a
sailed.
The less said
zero.
about that, the better,
I was thinking about another team, of course. All right. Well, thank you so much, folks. And Winterhaven is the GM for the team, but as we said, they'll
I
be-
am the GM.
Oh, hey, Winterhaven! Welcome
I'm sorry,
back.
I'm sorry. I was disposed of.
No worries. We
I'm
have
back.
already informed the entire recording of what you're up to. We appreciate you taking out the time, although you really didn't have to, because you should be
No,
enjoying
trust
yourself.
Me, I don't want to be up there. There's nobody I want to talk to.
Nice. Very good.
The question is now, why are you there? But we won't get into that. So, your name, your position on the team, and your favorite character skin, please.
My name is Winterhaven. I am the coach and the GM of the Jersey Boys. You know, I got a unusual pick, but I gotta keep it consistent. My favorite skin is the Reinhardt Griefheart skin. I
Oh,
love that
cool.
skin. I've had it on for 3 straight years. It's never coming off.
Have you really? No,
Oh, yeah.
Houston Outlaws skins.
He's not joking. It doesn't never come off.
Never change.
See, I have to feel that because until the 2020 skin came out for Reinhardt, I've been a Bloodheart fanatic, or not a Bloodheart,
Oh, yeah.
a Blackheart fanatic
Blackheart.
for quite
Even
some
better,
time.
even
Yeah.
better.
Another classic. Ryan
I
skin.
just like the axe, man. All right, I don't want to slam people with a hammer. I want to chop them down.
Yeah.
Got a different sound effect and everything. Right?
Exactly. It has the shink and everything. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah.
Axing the ground is somehow way more metal than a hammer.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right, so Booth, why don't we go ahead and get started with if Winter's still around and innocuous answering these first
I'm
couple
still here.
questions.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll give this one out to Winter, but if anybody would like to fill in afterwards, please feel free to. So, kind of what's the history of the team here? I mean, Jersey Boys joined Tranquility this season, so I'm sure a lot of the members here in the community would be interested to hear about your guys' story.
Wow, you know, I could go to many levels of depth.
We got
Like,
we got
depending on how
time.
deep you want
We
to
got
go.
time.
How it
This is Jersey Boys.
depends on how
So-
long you want to make the interview.
Medium depth.
I
Medium
can go
depth. I
all
feel like.
night. All right, listen. So we're like a group of like IRL friends that kind of bonded together over Overwatch and came
Wow.
together and created this team. So we've known each other, been playing Overwatch for years now. So the original team, which a couple of the people on this team were on it, Grunzilla notably,
no,
maybe
here
Six
we go.
Arcs, Ravada was a team called Clout9 back 2 years ago or so
Nice.
in Open Division, and we had a couple teams like that. Then it was like Clown Fiesta, and then like we had another one I can't remember the name of.
Do not beat us,
And it
we will
was just
cry
like-
Academy.
Yes.
Do not
Yeah.
be a Visual Cry Academy.
Oh my god.
Worst team of all time.
There
We
was
got
no
beat a lot
main
by
Zero
it.
wins. Zero wins.
So
Zero
It needs to be
wins.
said, you know, we weren't actually an academy. We just threw academy on the end to make
Yeah.
it seem like we had an advanced team. There
Oh
wasn't
my
one.
gosh.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we had like multiple attempts to like kind of have a team playing the hell that was Open Division for like Platinum players, and it never really got off the ground. And like we weren't really in with like the community. Like I don't think we understood that there were like other tournaments other than Open Division that you could like do. So we thought like, wow, this kind of sucks. Like you just get creamed by GMs in Open Division, and that's like all we get to do. And then I was fortunate enough to play for a team that participated in a tournament called Overtime Champions. I'm sure you know that.
I'm familiar.
And,
Oh, yes.
and I was like, holy shit, wait, we could play a tournament
PG-13.
and only play against Platinums and actually have good games. Like, So like I told everyone like on the fly like, hey, like you guys should like we should like get a team together. Like this would be so much fun, to like make a platinum team and play against platinums and have like great competitive games. And everyone was like, yeah, like I'm down to do that. So we created a team called the Houston In-Laws. Terrible like derivative name like that everyone. Like I know that OTC actually had a Houston In-Laws that's now blacklisted.
I wanted to clarify, not associated with Houston In-Laws from last season. I don't know if anybody knows
them as well.
You know them. Yeah, we don't know them.
We know nothing about
Okay,
we know nothing about the Houston In-Laws, and so yeah, totally we go deep. And so we did that, and we got the roster together, and we were like we kind of enjoyed it, and we felt like we were getting better, so we decided to just keep it going. We joined Overwatch Tranquility, and it's been like just a fun ride.
I just want to say credits to me for the incredible name.
Except for
Jersey Boy.
Except for me.
I don't know.
It was all me.
Houston In-Laws was my idea, so I was gonna get mad there for a second.
I would never take credit for that.
Honestly, if even you guys have heard of Houston In-Laws, I can't believe they let us compete under that name. That just seems like really confusing.
Overwatch
Exactly.
That's why we changed it.
Well, that's a perfect segue to the next question I had was why the name Jersey Boys? So, Astray, if you want to answer that, it seemed like that was your pick for the name then?
Well, you see, my favorite Broadway musical is The Jersey Boys.
Yeah.
Great not to dox us, but we are the boys from Jersey, minus one of us who lives in New York, but we are
Which
the
we
boys
allow.
from Jersey.
The Jersey area.
Close enough.
Reluctantly.
Tri-state.
Yeah.
All my real Jerseyans in the chat that know that New York is really just like an annexed part of New Jersey.
All right. Enough interview over. Let's go.
So, real quick question then, because I have a couple of friends from Jersey. Do you really not pump your own gas? Are they just
We don't. It's really dumb that we don't.
It's like a
scary,
It's fantastic.
Amazing.
But it creates a sense of adventure when you go like upstate to like New York and you're like, oh, we're pumping our own gas.
Yeah, you're like,
Nah, it's not that big a deal.
A couple of us were on a road trip, and like the only gas station in the town we were in was, it was like kind of like just. It wasn't like a brand gas station. It was just like a local gas station. And like I get out of my car with the New Jersey license plate, and everyone's looking at me, and I'm like, all right, like, please go smoothly. The most humiliating moment of my life is like...
I am actually Class C certified as a fuel attendant for boats.
Wow.
Believe it or not, that's my day job is boat fuel. And I can tell you it's really not that bad. The thing shuts itself off. It's very sophisticated.
I go to school in Pennsylvania, and I can also tell you it's really not that bad.
It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking.
At first it is. I agree. At first,
because you're the guy with the New Jersey license plate, and everyone goes, "Oh, that guy doesn't pump his own gas." And here he is in our state.
That's interesting. I've never known it to be like common in any state to not pump your own gas, because I know being
New
Jersey's the only state, right?
Isn't there one in like Washington or something?
Maybe I haven't been to the West Coast that much,
I
so
thought
that might be
Ohio
true.
was for a while, but
I was gonna say I'm in Ohio, and I've had someone pump my gas like twice, but that station shut down.
Yeah, and that was similar to me.
Weird, right?
Too many expenses.
What you want and everything.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I was young. I mean, that was like 18 years ago. So like, I don't even remember, honestly. I was really young.
Yeah. All right. Got me there.
Part of life now. You pull up and they do it all for you. And
not to sound privileged, but there is something nice about it being really cold, and then you just go $40 regular fill-up, please, and they do it for you.
It is very nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So our next question kind of goes to everyone on the team. So we're gonna start at Winterhaven and kind of work our way down. So how have you as individual players on the team improved this season? And Winter, since you don't actually play on the team, how would you say you as a GM have improved over the season?
I'm a terrible GM. Yeti, you sent us like a thing about like the awards, right, for the end of the season.
Yep.
I typed them all out for you. Forgot to hit enter. We didn't get entered in the award.
You also ghosted my podcasting query like 2 months ago.
I
It's okay.
get us to the games, and that's it. Like that is like
We frequently get ourselves to the game.
So
You'd be surprised how
You're
difficult
hosting
it is for
today.
some teams to
looking
do.
for
It's
a
okay.
GM. Looking for a GM. If any, which Raven gets to be coach.
Yeah, we can let him have that.
Oh goodness. All right. Innocuous.
Yeah, so I really think that so when we entered this tournament, we had a roster switch up with our support player. It used to be another IRL friend, but he has a college team.
Also
So-
from Jersey.
Yeah, so we enlisted
Nice.
a New Yorker to, be close enough. But yeah, I think that like I've changed a lot of the characters I played. I played a lot of Lucio, Baptiste, and now with Malvada on the team, our hero pools more so work that she's more often playing the Baptiste when that's in meta. She's playing a lot of Mercy recently. And so I think that as a support duo, our synergy has gotten a lot better this tournament.
Awesome.
And you can see that in our record,
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure.
All right, Stray.
So I actually started out as like a support player. I played a lot of Ana, but the thing about our friend group is there's too many support players. So I had to switch over to hit skin, which is basically just Ana, but a stronger gun. Natural segue. So I kind of have like support brain. Like if I'm playing tank, I'm standing on the cart. It doesn't matter who I'm playing, I'm standing on the cart. So
Somebody's got to push the payload.
As Coach Winterhaven says, he's like, you got to feed more. So I think my greatest improvement is that I've just started feeding more. I'm no longer standing on the cart, and now I'm like standing on a flank and maybe doing something.
Oh boy.
A big step up for me.
See, I gotta be honest with you there. Playing on console myself, very rarely do I have anyone else that stands on the cart. So even when I'm playing tank, although I know I'm supposed to be up there, I'm on the cart too. So I totally feel that. All right, Godzilla.
I don't know how I've individually improved. I think my calls have gotten a lot better. When we first started playing as a team, I wasn't like nearly as comfortable like leading in fights and calling targets, and I think that's something that I've improved on a fair amount. And I think generally as a team, we've just all got a lot more comfortable playing together and like trusting each other to do the things we know we're supposed to do. And I think that's led to our improvement. Like Get Innocuous said, you can see it in our record.
All right, Malvada.
I think for me personally, I feel like I've gotten a little smarter at Overwatch. I feel like sometimes I make better choices when we play as opposed to like when we first started. My hero pool, like if I'm playing alone, is mostly just like Ana. But like now I have to play like different heroes for this team and adapt to that, and it's been like challenging. But definitely has helped me improve in like those, like how I would play the game on those heroes versus just like how I'm used to playing as like one character.
All right, Aaron.
I think there's two real ways that I've improved playing on the team. It's definitely, I 100% agree with the shot calling aspect. I feel like we do that a lot better. I feel like there's times where we're lacking doing it, but at least we notice it and we get better at it. But I think it's improved significantly from where it was originally. And then also I've just stopped feeding as much. I've played
a
more.
hog one trick. Don't forget.
I mean, yeah, I
We'll
used to
come
be a
back
hog
to this
one.
when we get to the biggest feeder segment.
My hero pool has definitely like regressed in ability.
Has it
It's just
progressed?
No. It was hog, and then it was Diva, Zarya, and
That's like a progression.
Orisa,
Well, you added
and
Sigma.
Sig and Sig.
You
But now
added
I
Sig.
literally just play Zarya. So
All right, and Bento.
I've thought a lot about this question, so I apologize if I talk your ear off here.
No worries.
Coming into the season, I think you could safely say that the role the Jersey Boys had the least experience in was DPS. Both of our DPS players are transplants from other roles. Our head coach is a main tank. So that was the role I think we had the least understanding of. But when we started in OTC, I had a lot of frustration, and I didn't really talk about this much with the team much because I didn't want to bring morale down. But as a newer DPS player, I felt a lot of frustration with us losing to what I call Ash of the Week teams, where we are in these like massively favorable situations, and then we just lose to like the sheer clutch power of a DPS player, usually an Ash, obviously.
Mhm.
And this was immensely frustrating for me as a DPS player because I felt like I just could not compete. I just couldn't live up to that level. You know, I'm a Genji main. Genji was very overpowered. I played like a, you know, really aggressive, like hard carry style, and I just wasn't mechanically consistent enough to really justify that.
Gotcha.
So in our more recent matches, we've obviously changed our comps a lot. We've changed the way we play, and one of the things that we did was I kind of strong armed my way onto the tracer role, which was not something I was really doing a lot beforehand, but I thought that it would work. And so what I tried to do was kind of change the way I viewed the game and think of it more in like a holistic, like interconnected way. I also changed my sensitivity, which was fantastic.
That does help a lot.
Yeah. The TLDR would be to change my sensitivity. But changing the way I thought about the game really, I think, was great for me and also us. Because, you know, it's so easy to hop on DPS and just want to take every 1v1, just get all the kills, you know, start fragging out. But I think I started thinking more about what I can do, particularly on that tracer role, you know, pressuring healers to enable our front line to run over their front line, you know, where to clean up, where to stand, where to make people turn around, how to use pulse bomb, things like that. And I think the funny thing about that is, you know, we watched our match being casted, you know, with that sort of like element of distance from it after the fact. And Booth, you casted it, and I have to commend you on doing a very good job on observing and casting at the same time. I was very impressed.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's actually the video we have playing right now. So.
Oh, great! Great match for us. Yeah, I'm definitely glad that's the one you're playing. That's a really good one. But you know, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But yeah, basically,
how good of a caster I was. If you want to continue,
just want to come back in.
Yeah, if you want to go back there.
Basically, trying to shoulder less of a burden and more enabling my team actually made me look a lot better as a player when I actually watched the broadcast. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, you know, message to all those DPS mains out there: think about your team, think about how all the pieces click together, and you'll actually look better, feel better, and win more. So there you go. That's my improvement.
Awesome.
And we have been winning more. So
there you go.
Absolutely.
See, all of it comes together. And I think you noted on something that's really important there, Bento, is that so many times if you look in like Overwatch communities like on Facebook and whatnot, when they're talking about like, you know, how do I improve as a DPS or yada yada, and they'll be like, oh well, you gotta carry your team if you want to gain SR and yada yada yada, and it's just like, no, that's not how the game is designed to work. Like, yeah, you could have someone that's like really good at the game, but the way that the game is designed is that you set up your players to be better at the game. Like, you know,
once I stopped thinking about how much damage and started thinking about like where and why the damage was being put out, it really changed a lot for me as a player.
And that's a big thing. Like, DPS may not always get the final blow on a kill, but, you know, in your example, if I'm Ash, my job is to throw Dynamite over the shield so that when my Reinhardt pushes in, all he has to do is swing once. And that's it. Get the kill, keep moving in. And, you know, that's the kind of things that should be going in a DPS's head. You know, my job is to try to enable the front line, make sure that my back line's protected, and, you know, keep kind of in that synergy with the rest of my team. And I think that that's what a lot of people forget, is that this is a team-based game. You're supposed to be working together, communicating with your team, and I think that what you all have said, the various ways that you've improved, is a great example of why we have communities like this, because people wonder, like, oh, like, why are you commentating a gold platinum game? Like, nobody cares. It's like a lot of people care, actually, because this is how the game is supposed to be played, and this is where an average of the people are going to be playing at. So you get an idea of what it's like playing like on a team in this kind of arena. You know, you can watch the GMs, the top 500s, the Overwatch League players all you want, but I mean, what are you going to learn as a gold plat player other than, you know, get good?
Jersey boys. The Jersey Boys have not lost to an Ash of the Week team in ages. I'm proud to announce.
Good job.
Hey, there you go.
Definitely, you know, when we came into, you know, when we got to this particular season, we were a little more entrenched in the team. You know, like we knew this, we were in this for the long haul. We were gonna do, you know, multiple seasons of multiple tournaments and not just have it be a one-off thing like usual in Open Division. And so because of that, I started to watch some of the broadcasted games, and sort of on the surface, as an OWL fan, I was like, oh, you know, it's flat, I'm not going to enjoy it as much. But I enjoyed watching it a lot, you know? And it's interesting.
I the same thing.
It's interesting because it's, you know, it's people who I can actually relate to instead of watching the greatest players in the world. Like, you know, I'm watching, like, I could be in this game. I am in some of these games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Basically, the Jersey Boys.
I do like watching OWL. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
yeah. Totally.
But when you're playing like us, you know, you learn to work smarter, not harder.
It's even like a different kind of broadcast, because as great as a caster like Captain Jack is, and a lot of the people we have here on our team, I mean, we're not masters level players. So like when we're breaking down fights, and even when we're producing stuff, I mean, we're not producing OWL games right now for a reason. As good as we like to think we can be at it, it's a whole different kind of experience to be there as a team to watch those, and then I think also to have such a direct connection with the other teams you're playing against. Like, you know, you're seeing the same people, also at the same level as you, seeing how they're growing, you're seeing them digress, see how well they're doing, and knowing that you're fighting against them, or you're watching a team that you might be able to play against in a few weeks. I feel like that's always a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, we like to every once in a while like look at teams we've played against in the past and see how they're doing, and you know,
so interesting.
talk about that together.
Yeah,
it's
really the Holy Jalapenos match was really, I would say, halfway through that match was the moment that the Jersey Boys turned into a good team, and so we quite literally. That was a reverse sweep match.
Started, and that's when we got good.
Yeah, we had a terrible first two maps, and then the last three, we just really turned it on, and we haven't stopped winning since.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
But we check in on them. Yeah, we like to see what the jalapenos are up to, you know?
Yeah, and
we kind of already touched a little bit on our next question, Jack. Do you want to still go through it here?
Yeah, let's go through and see more what the bigger picture is about.
So our next question we had planned, some of you guys touched on it a little bit, but if you want to add a little bit more, please feel free to. We'll start with the winner with this, but what do you think has been the biggest area of growth for your team this season so far?
It's easily the mental strength of the team, and you know that's obviously an easy thing to say. We're talking about like a reverse sweep, but God, you should have seen us like tilting out of games like for no reason. You know, early on in the history, like people like not trusting each other, trying to micromanage each other, and just not believing like in our ability to win. Versus, you know, getting to the point where we can go down 2-0 in a match that we're kind of getting shit on. Sorry, I'm not allowed to say that. But
nope, you are. PG-13. You're good.
Oh yeah, you missed it, but they said we could swear a little.
I just don't want to hit our quota too quickly.
Yeah, I'm being a donor right now. You're at
Avengers can swear. You can swear.
You are it too.
But just getting to the point where like we get to a point where it's like we're a little too down in the dumps, and we can fall back on this like belief in each other and belief in our ability as a team. Just come back, and you know it's shown because like whenever we like maybe are even up in a match and we lose a map and we're thinking like, oh, this is like getting bad, we are able to rebound and like keep our focus, like going down, being up 2-0 and going down to 2-1, like losing a map is like a terrifying feeling for some reason. Like you just feel like you're on the verge of like,
is it starting?
Yeah, exactly.
So definitely, yeah, like our mental strength is just through the roof, you know, from where it used to be. So that's easily my answer.
All right, Anakis, what do you think?
Yeah, so I definitely think to get a little more specific on that, it does come down to trusting each other and understanding that it's okay to make mistakes and that mistakes won't necessarily dictate the outcome of a match. Because I feel like the first time we were playing together, I'm like, oh no, this person made this simple mistake. Now we're going to lose the whole match. If we're the better team, we're still going to win. You know what I mean? So I think that there's definitely more understanding. I mean, personally, I was such a tilter in our first tournament and like kind of a jerk. And, you know, it comes out a little bit because I'm a little loud, but I've tried to reel myself in, understand that, you know, in all of these last 3 or 4 games that we've won, of course everybody's made mistakes. I've made mistakes, but we're the better team and we're still going to win. And so we just have come to learn to understand that mistakes aren't the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, Stray.
I think, you know, I agree with what the other two said, but I think also just like our knowledge of like win conditions and what to actually do in the game, because, you know, sometimes it's straightforward, like, oh, we have ults, let's use them. But I think as a team, you know, thank you to our God coaching from Winter Haven. You know, we kind of learned. Sorry, I'm just trying to get points with Winter Haven right now, so he can, you know, he doesn't.
That's right.
He's not as mean to me during the VOD reviews. I gotta butter him up on this interview. But I think just knowing what to do and when, and just like, you know, when to get aggressive, when to back up, and kind of doing that as a team, and like knowing how to like, you know, work around win conditions and stuff. I think that has really helped us a lot.
Nice. Crowdzilla?
I mean, I generally agree with everything that the previous people have said. I think on top of that, I think us getting better at all these things has led to us being just generally like more confident.
Yeah.
I think confidence is really big because when we're not confident, we sometimes are not very good at using ults aggressively, and that would lead to us kind of getting stomped sometimes. And I think that's something we've improved at a lot. We use ults first way more now because of our confidence.
Nice. Malvada?
I think that basically what everyone else said, but like majorly like our trust has improved with each other. The longer we played, like I think we mentioned this before, but I joined like when we were Jersey Boys. But I had played with almost everyone in the past in like Open Division, but we didn't play with each other to the extent that we're doing it now. And now that we know that we want to be playing with each other for like more than just like, you know, this season, like you want to keep working together as a team, it's like learning how to trust everyone better, and like also myself with, you know, what I'm doing on as a support. It's definitely improved a lot since like I first began, and I think it's improved like the team entirely because of that.
Nice. Errant?
I do want to reiterate. I think our shot calling has become considerably better. But yeah, I think as far as team coordination, I think just purely because we all really do know each other. I've been playing Overwatch with Godzilla and Get Innocuous and Wint since it came out. So
yeah, since beta, basically.
Yeah. Wow.
So we just the fact that we're I feel like our coordination is a lot better purely because we played so long together. I just think we're a great duo. As with the rest of the team, of course.
Yeah, wait a second.
Yeah, agree.
Sorry. Bento pops sometimes.
Bento does pop. Bento
That's
carried
what I like to
the
hear.
match playing right now during this interview. Bento was carrying.
Oh, guys,
Everybody
stop.
watch the screen. Let's watch the screen too.
Yeah, that's important.
Well, perfect segue, Bento. What do you think has been the biggest improvement for your team this season?
Well, You know, you guys did me a great injustice by putting me in 7th because a lot of the important stuff has really been covered, and I really can't match a lot of those answers. So I've been spending the last 6 answers trying to think of something no one has said yet. And I would say something that we really have improved on is the Jersey Boys are really good at taking what works and just going absolutely beeping nuts with it. You know, like we are very, very good.
You can curse once or twice.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin, all the potential sponsorship deals that are going to come out.
Oh, totally. We're rolling in them here.
I think
I'm
we
gonna
really know
sponsorship after this.
Oh man.
I think we really know when something is working, and I think that's something you see a lot of teams struggle with. There are a lot of teams that will have a strategy that just works so well for them, and next map they'll abandon it and never see it again. In this match you're watching, you are going to see the play from an evil man named Syrup. Definitely one of my arch enemies, just sickeningly good at the Junkrat. Syrup, if you're watching this, I'm scared of you. Please keep a safe distance from me from this point onward. I live in constant fear. But not to put Paradise or Syrup on blast, but that Junkrat really, really stymied us. And I think if they had kept running that could have been a serious problem for us. But they kind of didn't. And I think that's one of the things that the Jersey Boys do really well is when we find something that works, we are very good at tapping in on it and recognizing this could become a trend if we let it. If we kind of nurture this idea, then we could take this to the next level and we could be really good with it. And that's kind of been in a way the core philosophy of how the Jersey Boys play Overwatch, I would say.
I think that's fair. You definitely said it very eloquently, but
thank you.
See, that's why we save the best for last. And if you don't want to be last next season, then have Winterhaven put you higher on the roster. All right.
Go first. He's gonna take up all the time.
All right. So the last question we have for this segment is, we all know that every team has those people that pop off and they fill the kill feed and they get talked about a lot, but we want to recognize those that don't always get that exact same time. So starting again with Winterhaven and working our way down, who do you feel is the most underrated player of your team?
I don't want to say they're underrated because I think everybody recognizes the value of everybody on this team. But so if you talk about filling up the kill feed, Get Noxious does not fill up the kill feed, but he is absolutely integral to our shot calling and fight planning in games. And he just in a way he is able to hard carry at times because of that game knowledge and his leadership skills that he possesses. So I would say Get Innocuous.
All right.
You Winterhaven.
All right, Innocuous.
Oh man, wait, this is hard. I'm gonna go with. One sec. I'm gonna be a little biased and go with my partner, Malvada.
Aww.
Because I definitely, I think that she has really turned it on. We've all had that same experience of just playing on casual open division games, and this is nothing personal against you, Malvada, but I just didn't think you would really be interested in something like this. I didn't really think this was your cup of tea necessarily to play on a team like this. Yet you've come in and played super well, been super adaptable, and we've started to play a ton of Mercy recently, and she has just absolutely killed it.
The impact on
the impact is could not be
unreal,
overstated.
Aww. All right.
Yeah, right.
This is where everybody starts crying. All right, Stray.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm also gonna go with Malvada. She really, speaking of the Mercy impact, it's not just the healing, it's just the I can't hit a shot, so then I send her over there with Valk and she gets the 2 kills. she gets the miracle res
whipping out the battle belt.
Yeah. And then
the reses are preposterous.
Watch her, just watch her. She's in the middle of the entire team, the enemy team, and she gets the res, and then we win, and
they don't know she's there.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
So definitely Malvada, yes.
All right, Godzilla.
I gotta go with my boy Errant. We started the team, and I was like, Errant's a pretty casual Overwatch player. This guy locks mystery heroes all day, and when he's in quick play, he joins the team as an off tank, and we're like, yeah, Hog's kind of an off tank, and you also play Zarya. And his Zarya's improved a lot, and his Sigma's improved a lot, and he's just more confident than he was when he started on the team. And I think the growth is pretty obvious.
Thanks, Boo.
No problem.
All right, Malvada.
I personally think the most underrated player is Innocuous. Like, again, a support player isn't usually in the kill feed that much, but he's like super important to our like shot calling and like the plans that we use to like engage in fights and everything. And he's just been like super great. So yeah.
Winterhaven is heading back to the service.
I think he's just crying too hard.
Thank you, Malvada.
This is more beautiful than the wedding I'm at right now. All right, Aaron.
That's a really hard question because I fully agree that Get Innocuous and Malvada are like hugely involved, and I feel like if there's casters on the game, then they're not really focusing on the heals because the heals aren't in the kill feed.
Which is understandable. We love you.
Yeah,
Bruce.
exactly. Yeah. We don't want it's really amazing. Get Innocuous. Yeah, I got it. Get Innocuous is really, really essential to our shot calling. And Malvada just hits the craziest reses I've ever seen in my entire life.
After I feed, I'm back in the fight.
Get Innocuous. He's screaming, "Fight is lost! Fight is lost!" Moldova pulls up, reses somebody, we win the fight. It's like there's never a stagnant moment with the two healers because one of them is always popping off.
All right, and Bento.
Yeah, you really do have to give it to Arrington Malvada for their just sheer commitment. I mean, we are talking about two players who were not placed in competitive until very recently when it was necessary to register for another tournament. I believe they both placed on the deadline for us to submit to our next tournament.
That is absolutely true.
But I definitely have to thank both of them for really stepping up and just really being, a part of this team that I can lean on. At the same time, though, I do have to go with Get Innocuous. And, we've talked a lot about Get Innocuous and his impact as a caller, a leader, a pather, just, an incredibly talented speaker for our team. But as a player, too, we ask a lot from him, and he always delivers. He is really just the quintessential support player, someone who really understands how the role is meant to be played and can convert that knowledge into skill on a lot of different heroes. And, Get Innocuous, we have him playing a lot of Ana these days, not a role that he really probably would have considered himself familiar with before. And that was my idea. I don't want to take credit here, but like halfway through a match, I said, Get Innocuous, I think you should stay on Ana here. But he's really risen to the Call of Duty, and I think I agree with Aaron completely. He is very, very essential to this team.
Yeah, the brain is big.
I feel really bad for our DPS players and our main tank because they would absolutely never get picked for most underrated because of the nature of their roles.
Oh yeah, I'm playing the smallest violin for myself.
I almost said Stray. I'm sorry, Stray.
The name is almost the same. Yeah, you guys are great too.
It's okay. They get featured most of the time during the featured match anyway. That's normally who I end up going with for camera angles, so it works out in the end.
It's just how the role is.
All right.
Well,
that was beautiful.
I think we both appreciate the support love there, Jack. I know you and I have very high feelings about that. It's such a hard role to necessarily talk up about or show or even in broadcast. But I always like hearing when teams are able to help give us better insight into their support players because so much happens with it. Because if you think about when DPS aren't getting picked, sometimes it's easier to see. But when supports are doing their jobs perfectly, you almost never can tell because the game's just flowing smoothly.
That's right.
So it's really hard to catch that if you're not like screaming with your team or playing with them really consistently. So cool to see out of that. But I think that just about wraps up our first segment here. We're next here going to go to word association. So what we're going to do here is either Captain Jack or myself will say a word. We'll go down the line, and we'd like for all of you to say the first thing that comes to your mind with this word. It can be whatever you would like. It can be synonyms. It can be antonyms. But just give us whatever you think of right away. So we'll start with Winter Haven, and we'll work our way down. So Winter Haven, the word is ash.
Headshot.
Headshot. Nice. Innocuous.
Gosh,
It's
I'm
still
so
Ash,
sorry.
right?
Bob.
Bob, very good. Stray.
One Trick, because she is my one trick.
Hey, there are way worse people to one trick than
Oh
Ash.
yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, my
I was
goodness.
one tricking her before she got the buff. It was not a good choice.
All right, Godzilla.
Dink.
Nice. Movada.
Play of the game. I guess that's more than one word.
No, you
that's
can
okay, that's fine.
whatever comes to mind.
POTG. Abbreviations are more than fine. Aaron.
Probably oh shit, Bob.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! I don't have my sleep.
I can't boop him off the map. No.
Exactly. And then Bento.
Mine was just Stray. I think the image of Ash, a picture of Ash with the
It's
word
just
Stray
Stray.
beneath it, is
Yep,
just seared
me.
into my
That's me.
retinas. Yeah, just Stray.
That's awesome. All right, so all these words that we're picking tonight come from either Overwatch or Tranquility. So this one y'all should be hopefully familiar with because you're going to be seeing them here in the next couple of days, and that is Phantasmal. So starting again with Winter Haven.
Oh man. Ghostly. I don't know.
I like it.
All right, Innocuous.
Slightly intimidating.
Ooh, you want to expand upon that at all?
You know, we didn't make playoffs in our last tournament, and so here we are, and so I can't help but be, a little nervous.
Okay.
But I think we can beat them.
We missed it narrowly too, that playoffs in our last tournament, so we're excited.
Awesome. All right, Stray.
Well, I was gonna say winnable.
Oh, bow, 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 bow. There's the salt.
Toxic way.
Not because I'm like overly confident, but I think just like going into every match, we kind of do a little digging into like their what they play or like their record and stuff. And we're not overly confident, but we always try to say like this is totally winnable if we're like on our game.
Mm-hmm.
And if we, don't throw.
The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. All right, Godzilla.
I think excited. Hopefully for a good game.
All right. Malvada.
Nervous, not like in a bad way, just nervous.
Kind of like that those pre-game jitters, when you just get those butterflies in your stomach, but you're still so excited. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Errant.
Mostly think of the Halloween season, but
I mean, 'tis the season.
Yeah, I know, right? It's my favorite season, so it's a good thing.
Same.
Yeah. But I'm super excited. As it's been said before, I super casual Overwatch gamer here, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Awesome. And Bento.
Dogos. I know most of the team doesn't know what that means. That I believe is one of the players on Phantasmal. I watched one of their games. I won't pretend the main reason is because Dogos is really fun to say, and I strongly recommend that you all try it.
Get a spelling?
DAWGOSS. But at the same time, I watched this Phantasmal game. It was a 3-0 between two lower win rate teams at the time, so I don't know how really educational it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was also not especially close. But when I think of Phantasmal, I'm thinking of that. I'm thinking of what we can do to beat them, And yeah, I mean, let's go. Let's do it. I'm ready.
Playoffs are all about that dub. All right, what we got next?
Yeah. Well, first I want to say what comes to my mind is the word Thursday, because we're recording this on October the 10th, but this will be our match next week on our Twitch channel, so I'll be really excited to see you guys playing. I might have to grab a production spot on that one. But okay, our next word, going back up to Winter Haven, Roadhog.
Actually, that's a combo together. So we've been doing kind of like these pairings of heroes, because we all know that people talk about, like the Ryan Zarya and the Mercy Lucio or whatnot, and kind of how these comps work together. So that's actually two heroes together for this question.
Okay. So the splendid tank duo of Hog and Winston.
Suboptimal.
I'm gonna cry, dude.
I'm gonna go with pull pounce.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
I'm theory
Nice.
crafting.
Innocuous about
Trademark
making
that.
it work. About
Nice.
If I say that on Owl, you get royalties now.
All right, Stray.
I would say best roles, because I think, Godzilla's best when he's on his monkey, and Aaron is best on his hog, but as
Wow.
Winterhaven said, suboptimal. Tanks don't get anything. They don't get to play their best heroes. They get to play Orisa, and that's it.
Oh no!
God.
Lock the horse. Lock the horse.
I think
Godzilla.
I think I would say it's a nice thought, but it does sound suboptimal. It sounds bad to me. I feel like that would go poorly for us.
Come on, one word.
Bad.
Malvada.
I would, as a support player, fear, like playing
Yes.
and playing against it, like just fear.
Can't be too close because you get hooked, and can't be too far away because you get dove.
There's no winning. Fear.
No dubs
Maybe
here.
we should run this. Hold up.
See?
And
Now you got him
excited
thinking.
to hear this one. Aaron, what is your take?
I mean, it sounds like a Friday afternoon to me. But according to what I'm supposed to say on the team, it'll never happen.
I mean, I see it in all my plat comp games, so I'm just saying.
I'm a big fan. It is. I was once told, which this will probably be denied by Wint, that as long as Grot isn't on Reinhardt, you're allowed to play Hog. And I vividly remember I was in a scrim which he didn't show up to, and I was like, it's okay. Wint said I could do it. And then he came in and it was like, no, I never said that. You can't.
That is wildly out of context.
That is exactly what happened. I
Yeah,
got called
we were
out
not.
immediately for it.
We were not playing Winston at the time. That was Orisa.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
risk.
you're right,
That
but
was awesome.
he wasn't playing Reinhardt.
That is true.
Oh,
Right,
boy.
and Bento.
Because I'm last, I feel like people are going to think that I'm making these up, but I swear to God, my first reaction, when you said just Roadhog, it was bad, because I hate him. And when you said Roadhog Winston, again, completely Scout's honor, first word that popped into my head was just why. That's about all I got, really.
Well, the question
It's like a double main tank.
exactly.
You can run it.
Yeah, it's something like
The
that.
question shouldn't be why. It's why not.
How?
Why
Oh,
not?
there you go.
How do I
Easy
go
answer
about
for why not.
How long do you have? Because I could go for a while on that.
That's a pretty easy
It's
answer.
bad, but this is actually covered. That's our secret pocket strat. It's the Winston Hog. We just don't want to tell anyone.
Big brain,
okay.
big brain right
We're
there.
supposed
But
to
now
know
you just said it, so I mean, I don't know.
You gotta mute this part out. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I will
Yeah.
totally take the 2 hours of rendering it will take to edit that 5 seconds out. Yeah, totally. All right, so next we always like to give some love to our fellow podcasters on the Iris podcast, and we started doing this randomly. and just kind of picking a random podcaster every week. And let's just say that hasn't worked out so well because people don't know who they are.
I hope he's watching the podcast.
Yeah, and so we decided this time around, since 3 of the podcasters are also your tier directors, you obviously should know something about them. So your podcaster, starting again with Winter, is Thuggington.
Oh no.
Oh, this is the guy we know. This is the
This is
I would hope so.
unbelievably disappointing because there's 2 podcasters who have openly like slept on us on stream, and Thug is not one of them.
Damn it.
Thuggington is a stand-up guy, does his job. No problems with Thuggington.
All right.
In my head comes miscommunication because the line of communication between Winterhaven and Thuggington, not as the fault of him, it's suboptimal.
Yeah, just a Roadhog Winston waiting to happen. Just so suboptimal.
The theme of this segment has just been things that don't work well.
Talking about composition. All right, Stray.
Yeah, I was just gonna say unfortunate because every single time Winterhaven comes into the Jersey Boys general chat, it's Thuggington messaged me, but I forgot to answer. It always starts with that.
Oh boy.
Oh, Lord.
All right, Gradzilla.
I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna say Goofy because I think it's a goofy name. I'm gonna move away from the previous theme.
All right,
For Rosie
very well.
Winterhaven.
Shaking it up. I like it. That's what I did when I started on the podcast. I just make Thug mad all the time. All right.
That's what Winterhaven does as well.
See, there you go. Me and Winterhaven got it going on. All right, Malvada.
He can't even defend himself. He's muted because he's out of
Not true. I'm not at a wedding anymore. I left.
He's in the car. He's in the car with the family, I think now.
That's exactly correct.
The family's like, what's Roadhog?
What's a Roadhog?
I would probably say I'm sorry because again, I said before, every time Win talks about him in chat, it's like I forgot to message him back or something, and it's like I hope he doesn't think we're too stuck up or anything.
No, stuck up.
Oh goodness. All right, Errant. Was that it?
He's a bully, man. He's a bully. Toward the
not.
beginning, when we started playing on the team, there was a lot of criticism of the tank play, which there rightfully should have been. It was questionable at best most of the time.
Ento, say something nice.
I mean, you can say whatever you want here. I'm just saying you don't have to be nice.
We like to get Thuggington mad on this podcast. Right?
Yeah.
I won't say we go out of our way to do it, but it is allowed.
First of all, I'm happy to hear that Thuggington was not one of the ones who slept on us, because they didn't just sleep on us. They go, the Jersey Boys are still playing? How do you forget that we're still playing? You don't have to know who we are. Did you think we stopped? Did you think we just kind of quit? Like, what does that mean?
That was NPC. We know who he is. All right, say
NPC. I'm putting you on blast.
Oh my god!
Open your eyes, Jersey Boys Nation.
Oh my gosh!
For Thuggington, I would say that Thuggington did perhaps one of the most legendary things I've ever seen in the tier 5 Overwatch scene that we're part of right now, and that is he suspended himself for teabagging for a week.
Yes.
Really?
I forgot about that.
Legend.
All I could say, fucking legend. Yeah, absolutely one of the most iconic moments of this tournament so
That's the
far.
hardest thing of all time.
When we discovered the disciplinary action channel, I'm sorry, but we were kind of obsessed. We were a little.
How did I miss that?
What? That was a great week.
He's literally the best.
That was
Justin,
this season, yes?
Yeah.
Due to a violation of our competitive rules, teabagging, I will be suspending myself from competitive play for 1 week.
The best is
Amazing.
when they drop the GIF in chat and it's like it shows the person teabagging and it's like, oh man, that's the moment of regret right there.
And the funny thing is, he didn't need to send one because who is going to verify it? He's in charge. You know, no one needs to see it besides him. If he says it, it
Just
goes.
an honest guy.
Oh my god! Oh my!
Objectively a good move. Also
Oh,
just so
this
funny.
was near the end of season 4. Yes.
I guess
Based
so,
on the
right?
date, it was March 26th. He tags himself and then says, "Due to a violation of our toxicity policy,
Yeah,
I've issued a 1 week." Like it's the same prep thing that he has, but it's to
So good,
himself.
the same template.
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh man.
How did I miss that last season? Oh my gosh, that is incredible.
fucking
That was beautiful.
Oh,
I think I will always remember that as long as
man.
we're playing in these tournaments. I will remember Thuggington banning himself for a week.
Oh, that is incredible. I can't believe I didn't know that, and that makes me so happy.
It's the Among Us strat. It's like self-reporting.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
See, Thug was all about that self-report Among Us strat before Among
Before
Us
it
was
was
even a
cool.
thing.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
He's playing 3D chess.
Oh.
All right. Well, we have one word left here in our word association, and then we'll kick it to our next segment. But before then, our last word is jetpack cats.
Who?
Are you asking as a legitimate question or?
Oh, that's his word.
No, that's his word. Ooh,
It's the word.
Ooh, yeah, it's gonna get spicy. I see.
Just no follow-up, immediate mute from him.
I would say for Jetpack Cats, probably won't play them. Realistically.
I mean, they are second seed. I'm just saying.
Interesting.
They are cream of the
We'll see what
crop
happens.
right now.
I mean- We'll see what happens.
Yeah. One day at a time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say cool logo, because it's
is.
it's just a jetpack cat,
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It is
and
cool.
I like cats. What can I say? The logo is very well done.
Wait, I gotta see this.
It's in our info chat.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Wait, anyone got the link? Let's see this.
It's in our
info chat?
In our
Oh, that is a good logo.
Everyone form your one word.
Your one word opinion now about the Jetpack Cat logo. All right.
Godzilla.
Intimidating because second seed. That's pretty good.
Yeah, as we just learned right at this moment, they are second seed. So
Yeah, I will be honest. I didn't know that. But second is better than third. Yeah, second is better than third. I just checked.
Check the math on that.
So a little intimidating.
They are in the other group though, so you would beat them in the finals. Would be the only way you guys could play them.
Yeah.
We will be
That
the
will,
finals. You mean?
happen. That will be.
Ah, yeah. That will happen, guaranteed.
It's on my calendar.
We're getting on the Miami series, I hate to say it, in finals.
All right, Melvada.
I am
Jealous because I love cats. So a team
Good.
named after cats is cool.
Hey, wait.
That's a
sorry,
hint
what will
to
be
the
their
next
name
trade
to the
that's gonna
Jersey
happen.
Cats now?
Jersey Cats season 6.
Okay, now I'm ready.
She's a New Yorker. Never mind. Of course, she doesn't like
Oh
Jersey.
my
but-
god! Again, I'm officially leaving. Thank you.
Aaron.
That's an impressive that's an impressive set of matches I'm looking at right now. That's
Oh,
I
Or are you looking at the
honestly,
tournament?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to play them in finals.
All right.
That
I
is
think
the
I feel like
ideal-
it'd be a good game.
get it.
Yeah.
And Bento.
You know, I was mostly just wondering this entire time if they kicked the shit out of us earlier in the season or not, because I think that they did. But you know, here's kind of my thing, right? And I don't say this to be cocky. The Jersey Boys are third seed, and we were fucking terrible for like half the season. So I'm not scared of anybody. You know, we're playing our best Overwatch.
All right.
I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not saying, you know, Jersey Boys are the best, you're all going down. Nothing like that. But, you know, at the same time, I'm not going into any match thinking this is losable, this team is more impressive than us. I'm going into every match thinking we're playing the best we've ever played. Let's do it. Let's go. And that goes for Phantasmal, Jetpack Cats, whoever.
I mean, one of the top teams has Bard, so you know. we all know about that one. Sorry, Bard, but it's the way it is. So, but I think that's probably what one of the greatest things is about this tournament is that the first stage is really to kind of get you all sorted into who we think you're best up against, because obviously, especially this season, we had so many new teams. Like, there's no way to really tell like your skill level compared to the other teams that are coming in. And so that's why we always say if you make it to the playoffs, it ain't done yet. Like, you ain't anywhere close to done. It doesn't matter if you place first seed or 15th seed. Like, you have a chance.
You guys watch Owl.
Yeah, like you always have a chance to get to the top every single time. So that's all I got to say on that one. So next section we're going to move into is called Team Superlative. So Superlative, as we've stated in the 15 episodes prior to this, is just kind of like the extreme of something. So if we were to say who is the biggest feeder, Jetpack Cats would say, or sorry, Jersey Boys would say...
Wait, hold up.
I was stuck on the last word. My apologies.
I'm losing faith in you guys.
Oh, dang. I mean, they both start with J. So
you should have had faith
and I'm almost 33, so that means I'm a boomer. I forget things easy. That's how it goes. So again, I would say if biggest feeder on Jersey Boys is...
Aaron.
All right, there we go.
All right. Hold on. There have been many moments where I have yelled to Bento over here and said, "Please don't die." And what does he do 2 seconds later?
Bento might be second.
Hey,
no, I was gonna say myself.
I 100% say Bento.
Hey, Bento chooses to tactically remove themselves from the game. All right, that it's not dying. It's a tactical error. All right. All right. So the first superlative we have, and I feel based on all the conversation we've had tonight, it seems like we picked a really good team for this one. Who is the team's biggest procrastinator? The one on the team most likely to wait till the last minute for anything.
Both tanks.
Hey, the thing is,
I would argue.
I feel like I gotta start with Innocuous first because I feel like we might know who it is. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing. He's not actually Winterhaven.
Oh, okay.
He is one of them, but he has more responsibility.
Oh, okay.
Realistically, it's probably like Errant or like Godzilla or maybe even me or Bento. But Winterhaven just has like 10 times more responsibility than us, so it looks bad.
Yeah, true.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to go for the meme on that one, but very well. We'll go with the real tea, I suppose. All right, Stray.
You know what? I would say Errant. Okay, this is partially not his fault because he does have a job and he does work.
Imagine.
But sometimes it's like 8:05, like 8:10, and he's like, and we're like, where's Errant? Where is he?
He's like,
and
my mom is driving really slow.
It literally happened once.
He's messaging us like, my mom is driving really slow. I'm not home yet. So not his fault, but it is there's a pattern of tardiness.
A pattern. Yeah.
I will say for our last VOD review, I just straight up fell asleep and didn't wake up, and I haven't told that to anyone on the team, so there it is. I was asleep during that period of time. I'm sorry.
All right, Godzilla.
I'm gonna say Errant just because I know that every time Wint has asked us to be placed by a certain date, he places like that night.
True facts.
I had 4 hours, okay? I had 4 hours.
Hey, you gotta throw it. It's fine.
All right, Malvada.
Errant. Sorry, dude.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna have to skip Errant so that Errant can defend themselves at the end. Bento.
In lieu of responding to this, I would simply like to read a message in the Jersey Boys Discord announcements.
Very well.
Oh, here we go.
I'll accept the
Max
charges.
Winters. At Jersey Boys, this message was sent August 31st, 2020 at 2:20 p.m.
Very well.
At Jersey Boys, please fill out this ASAP so I know what days we are free to scrim and to VOD review. Once you are done, drop a reaction. First of all, there's 2 reactions on this. But second of all,
Hold up. Where's the
8 hours later, August 31st, 2020, Bruce Springsteen decides, I gotta get the rest of these answers in.
That's Winterhaven.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the real Bruce Springsteen.
I've known Winter for
my
14
God.
years. We graduated high school together. This was going to happen eventually. But you know, again, August 31st, 2020, 8 hours later at 10 p.m., Winterhaven's thinking to himself, well, I got to get the rest of these answers yet. So he adds, not one of us, not two of us, just the entire tank roll. Because those were the only people who had answered it. That is my answer. That's me defending what I blurted out earlier.
Very well, very well. Winterhaven.
Winterhaven's he's a little percent.
Oh yeah, his phone is about to die.
I gotta say, it has to be Aaron. He's always the last to react. You know. Fun fact: I had to figure out if we could move our match to Thursday, but instead of just asking the whole team, I just asked Aaron, and once he said yes, I was like, "Yeah, we're good."
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. He did.
Also, I
private
Discord
message
messaged
me.
Aaron, waited 24 hours, he didn't respond, so I texted him.
Oh my goodness.
Wait. What was that?
Oh.
Yeah, you don't see Discord messages.
No, yeah. To be honest, I have Jersey Boys Discord muted.
Oh,
Why would you do that?
Why?
Because sometimes you guys just don't stop talking.
Well, that's why you set it to mentions only.
That's not true.
All right, let's not hash this out now.
All right. All right.
We're hashing
So,
it out later, and
so,
it's gonna be violent.
so, Errant, we bring before the charges set against you. Do you accept or do you place blame on another?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a lazy person, but I do also feel the need to call out the other person who placed just at the same time as me for this next tournament. Actually, I think placed a few minutes after I did.
Oh, no.
So really
But,
wait until the last minute.
But yeah, exactly. I think 3.5 hours maybe left on that one, but. I don't know. I will admit I'm a lazy person, but also didn't. That's all I'm saying.
Aaron, who was that?
What?
You never just said who it was.
Name them.
Call him
Alvada.
out.
I just said.
telling us the name.
Alvada.
Oh goodness.
No comment.
Unneeded.
All right. Well, we'll go to our next team superlative then. We'll try to get Winterhaven before their phone dies. So,
Thank you so much.
No problem. The question is, who is the parent of the team?
Easily get innocuous. No question.
Yet, do you agree?
All right, there you go.
Yes. Sorry.
Stray.
I would also say get innocuous. Not because he's like, he has a lot of responsibility. He just takes it upon himself. But he also just kind of looks like a dad. You know? he's got like just some dad vibes going on.
He's got the high-waisted
Where's
belt.
that?
He's got the sandals with the socks. I mean,
He wears a lot of.
He does wear a lot of corduroy, yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Godzilla.
I'm also gonna say get innocuous, for the previous stated reasons, and also because sometimes parents get a little pissy. I feel like, and sometimes a little pissy. To be fair, everybody does. We're all pissy sometimes. I get it.
You have no idea, Grod. You have no idea.
right,
I would
no
have to, get innocuous, 100% dad of the team.
Errant.
I think I would like to say Winterhaven, but it's more like an absentee parent kind of role with that one, which is rather unfortunate, but it's more on the truth. But yeah, I think Get Innocuous is a solid pick for that one.
Thank you, brother.
And Bento.
There's definitely a good case for Get Innocuous, especially because of all of the little jokes we have about him, which I feel like is very like apparent. I think my favorite, he hates this one. We have a joke that whenever Get Innocuous calls it's not winnable, that means we're about to win it.
I stopped her, I guess.
We bullied him too much, which is parent-like, but I really do have to say Winterhaven. Winterhaven's coaching style is sort of mistakes-focused, so when Winterhaven compliments you, it feels like you just won the Olympics. It's the greatest feeling in the entire world. So, after a map, you know, I'll like make a hero switch. I'll be thinking like, God, I hope Winterhaven likes this. And after the map, he'll go, good hero swap. Okay, you guys fed for like 3 fights, but I'm not even hearing it. And I'm like, yes.
I still remember we were VOD reviewing on Ilios Well, and Winterhaven said Godzilla isn't talking on comms right now because he is carrying on Winston. Okay, I understand.
Normally we hop into VOD reviews and it's like, where are you guys going? Like, what are you doing? And so when he's like, you did a great job, it's like, oh my God, I did it. I did a good job. And that's kind of parent-like, you know, he's got that sort of stern father thing in a way.
Alrighty. So our next question, we always like to include like as we know, Overwatch is a timely game, been around for a while, so we try to include some new games and new references for the Zoomers out there. So tonight's character comes from Borderlands 3. So who is the Amara of your team? And if you don't know, that is the Siren player that you can choose from the list of Vault Hunters on there. And who is the biggest, baddest BMF, etc.?
I didn't understand any of that.
So
You're a boomer, is what you're saying. You're clearly not a zoomer.
I don't.
Who is just like the biggest, baddest person on your team? Like when they're going at it, they're going at it hard, and they just don't.
It's always gonna be the main tank, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, but that's why y'all are answering the question.
Godzilla was a hype beast in real life before it was a main tank. So like,
Oh no.
Not a hype beast.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the same pick there. I mean, this
yeah,
guy
gotta be
like
Godzilla for me.
we're trying to put together a montage, and I said, okay, everybody get in this Google Doc and drop your highlights. Everybody else is like, Dre's highlights, you know, like Malvada's clips, and Godzilla simply drops a folder titled Shatters.
No one else is dropping shatters. I figured I'd have to put my name on it.
Trust me, I knew what I was looking at as soon as I saw the folder.
All right.
I will stray away. You know, our main tank is our main tank is pretty, you know, big and bad, but our off tank, Errant. Sometimes it's just like in chat, he'll be going off, and I'll be like, I don't know if we can back this. I don't know if we can back this talk up, you know? Just saying stuff in match chat, and I'm like, you got some confidence. And I will also say, standing 6'5".
Ooh.
Yeah, true.
Legitimately.
What about when we're getting bodied in the scrim and we win one fight and he starts teabagging?
Yeah, that's
All right. Okay. That was pretty well deserved. He started it first, but I do admit that was a low point in my career.
All right, it looks like we got a battle between two going on here, so I'll move on to Malvada.
I think Godzilla, like when he shatters, it's kind of scary, and he always gets a lot of people. Yeah.
All right, Bento.
I think did you skip Aaron?
Yep. On purpose.
Oh, okay.
Just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it probably has to be Godzilla. Godzilla is starting to infect me now, actually, where I'll make a play and I'll go, I'm so fucking good at this game. You know? I counter it out because I'm pretty hard on myself, so when I feed, I go, God, wow, I'm fucking terrible. So there's just a lot of... there's actually probably a constant stream of performance updates coming from me at all times.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you probably can trace that back to Godzilla, who is, in fact... a presence in the comms and on the field.
All right. Errant, do you agree with yourself being chosen, or do you give the crown to another?
Well, honestly, if this was anything like a Among Us popular meme, then it wouldn't matter if I voted for myself anyway because I'd still lose. But I will gladly pass this off to Godzilla because sometimes I turn around for half a second, I bubble somebody else, and I turn around and I hear the shatter going off, and I'm like, oh, I hope there's not a shield up. And thank God there isn't. I think he's gotten a few full team shatters before,
wow.
And holy crap. turning around and looking at one, being a Zarya, and I'm like, haha, I just get to go brr and fucking kill everybody. Everybody dies at my hands, but he did all the hard work for it.
It's a great point that
So yeah,
when Godzilla hits a shatter, it is done fully
Yeah.
to chat out, because there are some shatters that he'll hit, and I'll be like, where was that? Like, what do I do about this? I'm like, oh my God, right now.
You have to drop the Chad shatter.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, he'll hit the shatter and won't say anything, but he will not be quiet during the play of the game. When they run that back, he's like, everybody watch that. Same with Bento. Those guys are one and the same on that.
I'm a play of the game guy, it's true.
Yeah, they are play of the game guys.
All right, Godzilla, do you accept the charges put against you, or do you blame another?
I will accept the charges. I was thinking about it. I was gonna say myself purely because I like to yell and hype us up a lot. Like, I'm the guy screaming like, "Let's fucking go!" Every time we win a match. I'm known for the nice guys, nice fights and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll accept.
All right, nothing wrong.
Remember when we thought we couldn't swear in this interview?
Once we got to the hype beast portion, that's where we go.
I hear the counters at 10. I hear the counters at 10.
Counters at 10.
Double digits, respect.
Oh, nice.
That means we're
Alright.
cool, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
You
We're
got
actually all
we're
in
hip.
middle
got it
school.
unlocked. We got we got to start a what is it? A Patreon, because we're not going to get this video monetized and all this jazz. All right, what we got next?
Set the record for having somebody at a wedding, and then for the number of groups you have to do at the end.
It was a beautiful ceremony.
At least you had a good time.
Yeah.
All right, so our next question, we like to give some superlatives related to some popular figures in the Overwatch League. So today, I'm going to ask, who do you think is the rascal of your team? So by that, I mean, who is able to perform at a really high level with just about any character, or like who's really able to learn a new character quickly? Winter.
I want to preface this. Like, I know this is supposed to be like a quick. I'm a strong believer. You need to grind a character. I like these random switches. No one can do that. All right, there's not a single rascal.
No practice Genji.
No
doesn't
practice
exist.
Genji, not a thing. But if you wanted to point to our most flexible player, it would definitely be Bento. He's played a lot of different heroes for us. He's played the Genji. He's played the Tracer. He's played a little bit of Reaper. Tried some Sombra. You know, like he does a lot of stuff.
Farah. I don't know if you said Farah.
Farah, yes, definitely.
Farah.
Farah.
Good heroes.
Doomfist.
Doomfist, yeah, he's kind of a jack of all trades. He's tried the Junkrat.
That's a bad one. That's not a good one.
Coming back.
We won't talk about that one.
So he's definitely the most flexible in terms of what he's played for us in matches and in scrims.
Nice.
All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of my my knowledge of the San Francisco Shock to this. That Rascal exists purely to make Super's life worse and to upset him at all times. So this is a twofold answer. I'm going to throw this over to Errant, because not only has Errant picked up a lot of characters that he's never played before to play on this team, such as Sigma, and he's really honed his Zarya, but he does kind of exist purely to make Godzilla upset, you know? so bullying the main tank is definitely, you know, this is a twofold.
honestly, it's the most fun role to bully.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I can kind of dangle him over the eye. I won't give him bubble for a little bit, make him scared.
Please, Bubble, please.
Yeah,
Stray.
Well, if you asked me this question maybe a year ago, I would say myself, because I used to be a very flexible player, switching between DPS, like a lot of flex DPS, and support, so I'm just going to put that in there. But I am now a one-trick, so I will say Bento, because he does all the heavy lifting that I don't have to do, where I play Ashe, and he just plays the other character in the comp. And he's also very hard on himself, and he's always like, this character isn't working, I'm going to try this new character. So he's always, you know, trying to figure things out on his own, and like figure out which character is best. And he's swapping like 5 characters in one scrim.
I'm trying to do less of that. Hold on, I have to say. I'm trying to do that less.
I'm commending you for it. I'm saying, you know, it's good to try, and you're not bad on these characters. Just, you know, have confidence in yourself.
All right, Godzilla.
So the mainstream answer definitely Bento. We like to joke about how like most of us play like 2, maybe 3 characters. Bento easily plays the most characters on the team. But I think the sleeper pick, we were talking about Get Innocuous and how he's got a big brain. I think Winterhaven's phone died.
There we go.
He's got a big brain, and I feel like we could put him on pretty much any healer, and he gets value.
All right, Malvada.
I actually also have to agree with that. I think Innocuous is the rascal of our team. Definitely is super good at like basically every support hero. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Errant.
I do have to agree that Get Innocuous is. I think it's a really hard choice because we can always count on Innocuous for pretty much all of the shot call, not all of the shot calling. I don't want to give him too much credit, but he does a lot of the shot calling and a lot of the healing. A lot of the time I'm playing Zarya, I'm like, dude, I need healing, please. And 9 times out of 10, he's right there waiting to give it to me. So I would probably have to go with him.
And finally, Bento.
Yeah, I hate being that guy, but I really would say probably myself. Stray is right that everyone tilts differently. I'm definitely very, very hard on myself, and I'm pretty much allergic to when things go badly, blaming my teammates for it, which is not a great quality always, but definitely when things go wrong, the first person I look at is myself. But the one quality that I am proud of is I'm definitely proud of my flexibility. I think I can learn heroes very quickly. And I think that when we want to run something, I am usually the first person you think of when it comes to actually running it. And, that's Rascal to me. He's benched right now, but that's the guy who comes in when no one else can do that job. And I definitely take a lot of pride in my ability to say, like, oh, Bastion's meta now. I'm like, oh, I can do that. I feel confident in my ability to be like,
Lock the
ready
basket.
on any sort of heroes. If Echo comes back, I'm more than ready for that. I'm excited for that. I love playing, all the flankers. I'm working on my hit scan a little bit. Hopefully we'll never have to pull it out. But I just feel like that's definitely where I'm at as a player. Like I feel confident in my own ability to flex.
Well, some of the changes recently, I wouldn't be surprised if a double hit scan becomes a thing again.
Yeah.
I mean, at least what they were messing around with the experimental with Soldier, and I tried out with a few of the others.
My Soldier's
The leg. We're actually hoping for the legs to be good.
I can't wait for the legs to come back. Oh,
yeah,
man.
you said it.
Nice. All right. So our last question for this section, which actually should work out incredibly well, because I think you're the team that you're the best team that we've had that kind of will fit this question, since everyone IRL is. You can either answer this for someone else on your team, or if you don't know anyone else's, you can answer for yourself. And that's, who has the most interesting hobby on the team, and what is it? So, Innocuous, starting with you.
First now. I like the buffer of Winterhaven being confused. Hobby. Oh my god, there's so many video games is the issue.
Only video games.
Like, let me just look at all of my friends real quick and see what they do.
What they're into, yeah.
I would probably say, this is vaguely relevant to me because I did it too, but Winterhaven is very, very into drumcore, which is basically like really good marching band.
Yeah.
And he is pretty much over the last 5 or so years, he's really like dove into that, and it's a pretty niche hobby that I'm sure a lot of people don't know about. But yeah, he's a drummer, and pretty good at it.
Nice. All right. We've had a couple band geeks on here every now and again, so that's good. All right, Stray.
Man, I really missed the buffer of Winterhaven.
I needed more time to prepare. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I know these guys pretty well, but we only talk about video games. I would say maybe Get Innocuous, and not because for like any specific thing, but he's always got this quirky new thing he's doing. Like You know, and he's really into learning Spanish right now. So every time we start a custom game, it's Partida de Get Innocuous because his game's in Spanish.
That's true. That's true. Overwatch
you know,
voice
he's
acting in
also-
Spanish pretty good.
He's also just really into like, I don't know. It's not weird, but he's always like, check out this chess game, and he starts streaming his chess game in the Discord that we're in. So he's really into like competitive chess, I guess.
Oh, hey, nothing wrong with that.
So
Nothing
sad.
wrong at all. All right, Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Get Innocuous. He's he
Thank you,
plays like a bunch of instruments. He's like a music guy, and he's always every time I talk to him, he's like, "Yeah, I'm trying this new thing, and I'm gonna do like this and this now." So he picks stuff up like Spanish and other things like that. He watched Avatar in Spanish.
Wow.
Wow.
Good voice
Legendary
acting. Good
feat,
voice.
honestly.
The
Good voice
cartoon, because if it's a movie, I'm gonna have to kick you out now.
Yeah, no.
The cartoon.
Whew, that was a close one. All right. Malvada.
I also have to agree it's Get Innocuous. I remember I think this was like, I don't remember if it was a New Year's resolution or something he came up with recently.
No. What is
But
it?
yeah, he just had like a whole like list of things that he wants to do, and one of them was like learn a new language. So yeah, when he was like talking about like learning Spanish, and like we hung out and watched a movie all in Spanish like a week ago or something. I think this guy's just kind of always trying new things, and I guess that's not like one specific hobby, but he's always doing different stuff, and I think that's really cool.
Nice. All right, Errant.
I think I'd have to go with damn, this really shows I know very little about my friends.
I think it
Or your
shows that
friends
we're
aren't that
boring.
interesting.
Well, yeah, I think that might be better. But
kind of overlapping.
I mean, interesting is in the eye of the beholder. So
I
True.
do want to say I'm very impressed by Wint and his dedication to Overwatch in general, because holy
He's
crap,
the best out of all of us.
there is no one on this planet, and I don't think you could prove it to me anyway, that plays more just random solo queue
Oh my
competitive
God, yeah.
than
He's a
Wint.
grinder. He's out of
Oh
control.
my
He plays
God, I could never
hundreds
do
of
it.
Games a season, hundreds.
His dedication to this game is very impressive.
Yeah, I just scrim now. I like barely play comp.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's one of those
Yeah.
rare like diamond borders I see in my games every now and again.
He's getting close. He's up
Close.
to 800 something loot boxes right
But he
now.
also,
Oh man.
I
Oh,
mean,
He passed me a
me and
level
him
pretty
started.
recently.
Yeah, me and him started really late, like a year and a half, 2 years after the game came out.
Yep.
And you can tell because I'm like barely silver border, and he is now the highest level out of all of my friends.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
like,
he passed me like a month ago, and he's now like 100 levels higher than me.
wow.
To be fair, I got all you guys into this game. Not all, Stray and Movada not. But everyone else, I got you guys into this game, and you all have more hours than me. So
Grad's like, I don't know what this is like. All right, and Bento.
It's tempting to say Errant with his rich stock portfolio and love of agriculture, but
I was thinking about joking about that.
let me introduce you guys to a word you might not have heard before. You guys ever heard of vexillology?
I have
I've
not,
heard
and
you,
I am
I've
very
heard you.
intrigued.
I have not.
That's the study of flags. That is the study
Oh
of
my
flags, and you can ask my good friend Get Innocuous all about
Yep.
that sometimes. So that's my answer.
Wow.
that was
Hey.
an old one. That was like end of high school, beginning.
It's true, but
college.
everyone has said so far that Get Innocuous is always like, I'm really into this now. Now I'm a biking guy now. I really like biking. That's kind of the thing. One day he pulls up, he's like, I'm gonna learn every country, also every flag.
Wow.
And he just loves
No,
flag.
it's
I'm
in
gonna
his
get
brain.
a perfect
Yeah.
view.
That's
get
kinda
the
crazy.
game.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
favorite
was- what was-
real quick.
What was that?
Favorite flag.
Favorite flag? Oh my
Mhm.
God! Wait.
We've
You know,
literally
it's
had this
probably-
conversation recently.
Yeah, it's hard to think about. I really like Ukraine because it's really simple.
Yep.
Simple.
Mhm.
Simple. But I think the colors are just so nice together, the blue and the yellow. But I think I'm gonna have to go with the small island country of Comoros off the coast of Africa.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Wow.
If you look it up, it's like a little rainbow
Ooh.
shooting out. It's really nice.
That's cool.
Is that where the pot of gold is? Maybe that's what the flag's for.
Oh my god! Wait, no, this is embarrassing. That's the wrong flag.
Oh. I was like, are you sure you didn't see that on the front of a Lucky Charms box or something?
Anyway,
is it this one? Hold on.
That's
incredible.
I totally wouldn't know because that is not my passion. So you could be right.
Got it. Easy.
Yes, this one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mixed up my African countries, but this guy is a beauty right here. The rainbow shooting out.
That's pretty good.
Everyone look that up at home because you can't see it in our BeatDrop channel.
SEYCHELLES.
Nice. Godzilla has dyslexia. He killed that.
That's true. I can read on a good day.
Grod's like everyone's.
I might have cut you off there, Aaron. Before the end, is there something you were gonna say?
No, I totally forgot. Don't worry about it.
Happens to me all the time. Well, I think that wraps up our superlative segment there, Jack, and that brings us to unfortunately, our final game. It's already been a blast here so far. This is my favorite part of the night. So we're gonna go into what we call server kick trivia. So we vary based off which podcast it is, what kind of questions we're gonna give. But for you guys, we're gonna be doing Overwatch voice line interactions. So this is interactions between characters to each other, not specific voice lines you would unlock and then use, but two characters talking to each other. So
I'm powering up right now.
So it's going to work to remind you guys and any of our viewers just to buzz in. You will say your name. You don't need to say your whole name. We already discussed that for Get Obnoxious there. That would be a little difficult. But the first one to say their name will be able to answer. If you then answer correctly, you get to choose who from the server will be kicked. But if you get it wrong, you yourself will be kicked.
Yes. And just to add on to that, the answer will always be two characters in the game.
You got to get both characters right.
Yep. And they may not be playable characters.
Oh.
So some questions some characters may expand past the 30 31, 32? Where are we at now? I forget. After just like my age, after 30, I didn't care anymore.
Was 30.
Exactly.
That was 30. I forget.
All right. So, Booth, go ahead and start us off.
All right. So here is our first one. So remember, just say your name to buzz in.
And you don't have to do it in any order. Oh, Winter's back just in time. Yes. I prepped such a good kick message for Winter. Oh, thank goodness.
It's trivia time.
You're back just in time, Winter, to get kicked out again.
Okay, just to remind you, Winter, all you need to do is say your name to buzz in. We're going to be giving Overwatch voice line interactions, and you need to be able. So this is interactions between multiple characters, not necessarily playable characters, but you need to name both characters correctly. If you answer correctly, you choose who gets kicked. If you answer incorrectly, you will be getting kicked.
Okay.
Okay. Here goes our first one. I guess to let anyone be a pilot these days.
I mean, I've heard it
before. Get innocuous. I'll
All
sacrifice myself because I'm going to get this wrong. Does Farah say that to Diva?
I am sorry.
Bye, everyone.
so close, but not really. Booth, who actually said that?
So that is Tracer to Hammond.
Oh my god!
I thought it was Tracer,
but I knew it was Tracer. Yeah,
I'm so wrong.
Maybe if you said
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I believe
as much as you want to hear me try a British accent, it would be insulting to everybody. So
it's all right. We don't do that because we don't want to give one of them away anyway. So
true.
See, so no worries. All right. So get innocuous. We got to send you on your way. Any last words?
Had a great time. Thank you for hosting. Check out Vexillology, everybody.
All right. Well, thank you again, Inoculus, but you should have been just a little more aggressive in this. You should have tried. Yes, I did look up words while we were doing this, so I do know a little bit of history behind the names that you did pick. So, our next one, and Booth, don't feel the need to go in order as well. So we're not restricted to an order here. So, all right. The Tobelstein's work remains flawed. Tragic.
I'll risk it, Bento. Oh, he technically says name first, so I'll give it to him.
All right, Winterhaven.
I'm gonna say that was Zarya to Moira.
You did get one correct, but the direction was wrong. That is actually Sigma saying that when eliminating an enemy diva. Or enemy Zarya. Wow, I am all over the place tonight.
Thank you.
I'm all over the place tonight. All right, so yeah, that is Sigma eliminating an enemy Zarya. So any last word? As soon as you come back, you're headed right back out again, Winterhaven. Any last words?
I have nothing to say to you.
Goodbye. All right. Well, I hate to say it, Winter, but fire is greater than winter. That's all I gotta say. Fire beats winter. You know, if we were playing winter, fire. Rock, I guess. I don't know.
The classic game.
The classic game that everyone's going for.
Exactly.
All right, Booth.
Okay, so for our next one, again, we have two people here. So, of course, how else can I bail you out when you get into trouble?
Man, I hear this in my head, but I don't know who it is.
Okay, I'll try it. Bento. Anna to Tracer.
That is Brigitte to Reinhardt when they are.
Oh, these
spawn.
are so hard. God damn it. Man, I wanted to stick around. Why did I risk that?
I mean, the goal is to... Y'all are eliminating yourselves, and the goal is to try to get everybody else.
we're team players, you know? We really just take one.
That's right. What happens if no one answers?
Well, we don't... Normally we have enough, but we actually...
I'll just start feeding. I'll start feeding.
Yeah, I'll start feeding.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I was like, if I had said nothing, could I have just kept going?
Oh, goodness. All right.
I'm going to take this next one no matter what, guys.
So,
all right, thanks, Greta.
All right, Bento, we got to send you on your way. Any last words?
No, man, I really hoped I get that right. I wanted to kick Gizmo Charmander from the server.
Yeah, that's not how that works, actually.
You'll never be able to find out.
I did legalese on what you said. That was definitely how it worked. But anyway, hey, support the Jersey Boys. Hashtag surfs up. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Well, Bento, you got a little bent, but now you be straightened out. All right. Moving on to our next one.
I'm taking this one, no matter what.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Do you want to guess before we read it off?
Definitely not.
It's like how much of a chance do you want to take here?
I mean, I'm gonna guess. I'll guess. We'll figure it out. We'll see.
Oh my gosh! Okay. I just realized one of the ones I wrote down doesn't have an actual interaction. Oh man!
I noticed that, but I was looking up for you to replace
It's all right. No, I'll look one up when you do your next one. So
okay.
All right. Oh man, two of them are. Man, I'm really bad at this. Okay. Wrecking Ball is back to defend his title.
Winston to Tracer? I don't know.
I mean, I'm just gonna point out the obvious here, Grod. There was one in the line.
Yeah.
I straight up was like, maybe Winston's talking to someone else about Wrecking Ball who's also in the game.
All right,
that's my B.
So this one is actually the Junker Queen on Junkertown. As the doors are opening, if the attacking team has a Hammond on it. So that is Junker Queen talking to, I guess, technically the crowd, but there has to be like Hammond on the team to create that interaction.
That makes
so thank you,
got me
Booth, for finding some quick ones for us.
Don't worry.
We were trying to today, like we said earlier, today's been such a busy day, and we kind of did the script last minute. So at least we got we got these at the end.
It's okay. You can put it on us. You can just put the blame on us.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine. I don't know.
If you all say so. All right, Grod, we gotta send you on your way. Any last words?
No, thanks for having me. I hope we do well in playoffs. See you guys.
All right. Well, as they would say on Flash, there, Grodzilla, into the pipeline. All right. So,
all right.
Well, we got some more here, actual interactions that have people interacting with other people. All right.
I think the goal is for all of us to get one right.
Yeah, if you can at least get...
I'm not gonna. I'm hoping with the couple I gave here, I at least gave you one of them. So we'll see how it works. Okay, so this is a pretty quick one here, but it is. Mercy is for the weak.
Straight.
Dude.
I'm gonna go Mercy Moira because that seems like on brand.
You are correct.
Woohoo!
Moira
Right.
voices that after she kills Mercy. So we get to try it out. Stray, you get to pick who gets kicked here.
You're sure I can't kick out Gizmo Charmander?
You cannot. I did not know there was salt against Gizmo. Gizmo was supposed to be here tonight, but is on a date. So this would have been a much. Go ahead.
He was casting our game against Paradise, and he had a Paradise shirt on.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where the salt is. All
That's
right.
what he plays for.
So, there was a little bit of a bias there.
Gotcha.
That's why I picked him for
But
that.
no, you can't kick Gizmo, you can't kick us, and you can't kick yourself. So it's either Malvada or Errant that
All
has
right,
to be
I'm
removed.
going to kick Errant because I
I
knew it.
Girl
I knew it.
power. All right.
Sorry, Malvada and I have a solidarity.
All right,
Yeah.
Errant, we got to send you on your way. Any last words?
No, just hashtag surfs up.
All right. Well, Errant, you did a great job sticking with us, but this time you're too far off course. All right. Because that's what errant means, is staying on track. Just in case anyone was wondering. I have big brain. All right.
Honestly, I'm not quite sure Errant knows what Errant
again, I had to, when we were asking questions, I was like looking stuff up on my phone because that's what I typically do is I'll prep these once we have the list of players. And I was like, Malvada, I have no idea what to put for this. And so the first thing I do is like, Google, is this a word?
Oh my god.
I just have to know, is it a word that I have not seen? So, all right.
It
Wait,
is
actually,
indeed.
what does Malvada mean?
So it just means evil
Yep.
in Spanish, but like the feminine version. Yeah.
Yep, that is exactly what it means. All right. Or at least the translation I got. So,
Yes.
all right. So last but not least, this should definitely be.
I have more if you want it to be
No,
more. If you want it to be
that
better.
I think we're in a good position. I think there may be assumptions made, so we'll see how this comes out. We had one of those last night as well. Quick thinking, Winston.
Malvada. Tracer to Winston.
Got her. We got her. Ah, so close, but no. You would think that
but then
you would.
You said. You said, there were assumptions made. I was like, I'm making assumptions right now.
Well, it was more so the assumption you made would be wrong, because actually that is an ally Echo after seeing an allied Winston score an elimination. So we've had quite a few of those on here where you think, like, based on the line, you would think that is something they would say based on their relationship, but no. That's not how it
embarrassing.
works. So Malvada.
I really like Overwatch lore, but I don't know this stuff.
See, you should.
That is a Winston line.
See, that would have been like freaking week 1 when we like absolutely destroyed Praxis with the questions we asked. It was like, how many grandkids does Torb have, or like, what was Reinhardt's original ultimate before Earthshatter? So definitely a lot of different ones. We've tried to stay at least equal and easy enough so somebody can get one at least. So Malvada, I have delayed long enough. We have to send you on your way. Any last words?
This was fun. This was pretty poggers. Thanks. Had fun.
We were glad you could have fun. Malvada, Spanish for evil, but just not evil enough to be able to stick around. All right, and Stray, you are the reigning champion for Jersey Boys in Server Kick Trivia. The floor is yours. You literally can say anything you want, and until this VOD comes out, the team will not be able to fight you on it. So go ahead.
The pressure's on. I remember when you first went through the rules for this, like last person standing gets like the last say, and I was like, man, I hope that's not me. But here I am. What can I say? I'm just too good. I will say, I'm not a BM player. I'm very, PMA. So I hope people now know our team, because apparently people didn't know we existed before.
At least the podcasters.
Yeah, much like the state of New Jersey, not many people care about us, but we are here.
All right.
So, I hope we make it far in playoffs. I hope we do well. I hope we see Jetpack Cats, name drop, see you at the finals. And that's it, Just, wish us luck. Surfs up is our official hashtag that they made up, I guess, so.
I don't know. It seems like something people are saying. All right. Well, thank you so much, Stray. And thank you to the Jersey Boys for taking your time out to be with us this evening. Remember, we only have a couple episodes left after this with the teams, and at least based on how the schedule is going, we'll be getting into our end of season award winners if we can get them together, all stars if we can get them together, and if we can't get anybody from any of those groups, then we'll probably be doing a couple more teams until the end of the season. Remember, these are always on every night after the regular feature match, so Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, typically around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that being said, that's it for us here at the Beat Drop. My name's Captain Jack.
I have been Booth.
And we will see you.
And I am... Nope.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am the Jersey Boys reigning champion.
And we will...
I also deserve a sign-off, sorry.
No worries. And we will see y'all next time.
Let's drop the beat.